Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from today. Thank you so much for joining today's Ciena Solutions Challenge student panel discussion. We're so happy to have you all joining this exciting opportunity for students to talk to one another and share their presentations. During this session, we will be hearing from student teams from India, Indonesia, and Nigeria. And these student teams and their educators participated in the Ciena Solutions Challenge, and they were awarded the $2,500 Sustainability Award that will go towards scaling and sustaining their innovations. So just before we begin, I want to remind you all that attendees that have joined today, you're all muted upon entry. However, you have the ability to engage in today's discussion using the chat box feature. And at the end of the presentation, we'll have a few minutes reserved for questions from the audience. And then additionally, all attendees and all panelists have the ability to enable closed captioning or a live transcript during today's webinar. In the meeting controls toolbar, you can click the show captions icon. And if you would like to enable the closed captions feature in your speaking language, be sure to click the up arrow icon. And then click speaking language, then you can select your language. So it's just a heads up for everyone. So since launching in 2021, more than 730 educators from schools and youth organizations across 77 countries have engaged with the Ciena Solutions Challenge. It's a global design challenge by Digital Promise and Ciena that invites middle and high school students globally to use challenge-based learning to design solutions that address the sustainable development goals within their communities. If it's your first time hearing about the Ciena Solutions Challenge today, you are in luck. You will hear directly from the Ciena Solutions Challenge awardees. You'll hear about how creative their projects are, the process that it took to create their innovative ideas, and you'll also hear about their future plans to sustain and scale their ideas. So before we hear from the panelists today, we'd love to know who's joining us. We would like to if you want to take some time to share your name and where you're located in the chat box. When you do, if you do decide to share your information in the chat box, please remember to click everyone. And we would also like to welcome our Ciena employees who are joining us today on our panel. And we would also like to thank them for their participation as reviewers during the Ciena Challenge. So we really appreciate all of your help and just creating that feedback for students to learn from. A message for the audience: as you listen to today's presentations, we invite you to share your thoughts, your observations, and your questions by using the prompts that you see on the screen. These are just ideas. Please share your thoughts in the chat box, and you also have the opportunity to share your thoughts at the end of today's session. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions to the panelists today. So you can share anything from, something that was brought up for you during a project, maybe something you found unique or inspiring, and maybe there's something that raised a question for you. So we'd love to have some engagement in the chat box today. So like I mentioned before, each of the student teams that you'll hear from today address a local issue in their communities by leveraging their creative skill sets and their access to technology and resources around them. From developing an employment-focused social media platform to organizing an awareness campaign that centers environmental conservation, these projects showcase the talents of youth creators and change makers everywhere. And those youth creators and change makers who have an interest in collaborating with their peers to develop a product or an idea that will positively impact the world around them. So without further ado, we're going to start with the first presentation. So we have students from Egba Odeda High School Junior in Nigeria. And we have Ebenezer as their educator, and students that you see on the screen will also be supporting this presentation. So Ebenezer, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And if you would like to share your screen, we see Ebenezer on screen. Hi, everybody. If you would like to share your screen, you're welcome to, or I can share it for you.
Okay, please, Mr. Akara, you can share the screen for us. Of course,
Okay.
I gave it so it will be easier for us to pilot.
Okay, wonderful. Give me 1 second. All right.
Okay, that is good. Okay, I think you can hear me clearly.
Yes,
okay.
We can.
Okay, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. This is Mr. Ebenezer Anyadiegwu. It is for Nigerian Fellow, and this is Odeda High School. These are my young innovators, those that did this wonderful work and these wonderful products. So we're here to kind of bring to this particular wonderful YouthMADE festival the creativity and the work that these youths, the hard work they have put forth in order to make sure that all these designs are made. Our project is Household Appliances Innovation powered by solar by the Jet Club of the Odeda High School. I myself is the STEM educator that is presenting, and these are my students that are here. They are the ones that are being the student that did the work. Then looking at this now, this is a picture speaks better. This is a student at the workshop. You can see this is the design. I said here is a real demonstration of a YouthMADE, which is youth making, activism, art, design, and education. Our work is focusing on using solar appliances to power household, solar energy to power household appliances. You can see those works as is being presented. Then looking at the project description here now, our project aims to addresses the electric power failure in Odeda High School and the Odeda community in general by harnessing solar energy for households. It also offers sustainable and affordable energy alternatives, reducing reliance on fossil fuel, which are kind of fighting for climate action. So looking at this now, you can see the teamwork and the creative use of technology they use to design this standing fan, and also how they, after the renovation of the damaged fan, they now use it to test in the sun and saw how it was given a powerful rotation, and they now enjoy it. Of course, this particular works there, if you can see my screen and see the environment, you can see this is a practical demonstration of what we are talking about. They will have some other designs that is being done. These are the works of the Innovators Club. Out there now, there is what? There is a sun. Out there, the solar panel there, that is what? That is a kind of powering this particular fans here, as well as the renovated one. This one is a locally made one as well. So these are the what they put forth. Now, moving on to the next slides. Okay. Now, talking about the lessons we learned in and the future plan. Of course, there are a series of lessons we learned through this particular creative works of this Innovators Club. The first one is that I said that our project taught us the value of a collaboration and the innovation in community problem solving. Of course, you can see what there is an active collaboration. It is not done by one person. In our STEM club here, we have about 5 groups in the STEM club, which one of the each of them here represent one of the leaders in the group in that particular STEM or Innovators Club. They did a collaborative work in it. So we learned that what the significance of student leadership and involvement. Of course, there's a kind of a student leadership where they coordinate themselves. Even in my absence, they'll be able to put off something and create something that is innovative, that can bring solutions to the problems and the challenges they are finding in the community. So we aim to expand our project, our impact on the project by scaling this particular solar powered innovations, conducting outreach programs, and as well as fostering partnerships. These are the areas we are looking at. Now, looking at this now, I say that our goal is to empower more communities to adopt these renewable energy solutions for sustainability and also for resilience. Of course, we're looking at going to other schools to empower them, teach them how to use locally damaged appliances like this particular one now, locally damaged appliances. These are PET bottles and plastic bottles that they use for wine and drinks that we put together, and through their creative work now, they use it to innovate touch. Of course, this now can be used at night to see. It can be used this particular extended wire now to power it using solar, and one can use it to see at night. This one now here have internal battery that have been charged. You can see one can use this and see at night. These are the creative works of what of Innovators Club, and this is the work of the students. Of course, this is the demonstration of that YouthMADE, which students are happy to showcase and also to present their work, which if you can see actually the work they present on the table here and the ones they have at home, it gives more insights of the creative works they are putting forth. Thank you, and God bless you. Let me stop here so that if there's any question, you can ask us. Thank you.
Wonderful. That was great, Ebenezer. Thank you so much. We learned so much. If you have any questions or reactions about Ebenezer's project, feel free to share your thoughts in the box. So we're going to move on to our next presentation by students at Government Girls Senior Secondary School in India. And we have Educator Mohan here.
Yeah. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste. I'm going to stop sharing my screen if you would like to go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. I think you are getting my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So I am very happy today that my students work and what were the situation here. I would like to give you a brief introduction. Myself, Mohan, and we are in the northern part of India, and it's a hilly state. In our hilly state, in August and September 2023, there was it is a monsoon season in India, and last year there were the floods and there were the landslides, and because of which in our state, in Himachal Pradesh, we lost 457 lives, and besides the loss of hundreds of millions of dollars property. On the other hand, our area, especially our panchayat in which our school is located, nearly 17 panchayats area was drawn, flooded, in which the people were evacuated by the helicopter, by the NDRF team. So I sat with my students and asked them that, can you find some solution? And they were, on the first day, they were very surprised that what we can do. It's done by the God. It's not our fault in my opinion, what they said. But when I said them that go and explore all the issues, that why it's happening, why there is so climate change in the world. You see, there are so many issues. So when they explored, they found that yes, these are the human activities. When they went through the researches which are going across the world, their mindset was changed. They found that it was due to the human activity. So they found that it's our fault. So what was what they can do? This was another point for them to that where they can take the action. So they said that, sir, yes, we can add. Each and every individual can add something to stop such changes. We can protect our environment. So what are our small initiatives which we can do? So for those actions, they worked, and in which they found that we can go for the plantation to protect our this Mother Earth, even to protect this ozone layer. Our project was then named as that, how can I care Earth to ozone layer? So means that individual contributions, they matter a lot. It was just like that, how the students, how even each individual on this earth can contribute to this environment. So this was one of the point which we took, was the plantation, not only of plantation, but to take care of that plantation when it grows. Second was to reduce the this use of single-use plastic, especially just like the polythene bags which are used single time, we can avoid them. We can use the jute bags, or we can use the optional bags for them, like the cloth bags, so that we can avoid this use of single-use plastic. So for the single use of plastic, what we can do, the students took the idea and they asked the people, they made them aware that they organized the rallies. Then another point was that they can go for a reduce of emission, like that for example, the vehicular emission, the in when we see our capital in India, it's very much polluted country, polluted capital of our country. So if the vehicular emission is the one of the reason in that, so if we are keeping our vehicles in the proper emission norms, so it can add to a lot. So this is our further, it's the individual contribution which we can go for that. But to make the public aware about it, we organized number of activities in which we worked as a team. We collaborated with the NGOs, we collaborated with the other teachers, and it was our school team, our teachers team, and we collaboratively worked on it. And basically the lesson learned was that it's my students, that when we discussed, they found that it's very challenging to change the mindset of people toward prioritizing the environmental protections. It's very difficult for them, but they learned that, however, it was looking very easy for them. On the other hand, they also found that it's very important to nurture the plantation which we have done once in the life. So this is very important to keep the how it's very difficult to keep a plant growing. It takes too much time, not only just to plant. So this was another lesson what my students learned. And another was that sometimes we find that small steps do not. Yeah.
Sorry, Mohan. Thank you so much. We have to move on to the next team, but please.
Yeah, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry, 30 seconds. So actually, we have done so much and we are so enthusiastic. So I'm taking, okay. So, and finally, these our small steps add a lot to it. Finally, our future plans are that now we will take this whole movement to the our more schools, to the we will scale it to the with other NGOs, and we will celebrate the World Water Day, World Ozone Day, or the days celebration like that now on the 5th of June, the World Environment Day. We will celebrate it on the mass level. So and further, we are highly thankful to the Ciena Solution that they have financially supported us, and we are so grateful to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Mohan and team. We can't wait to hear more about your students project during this during our student discussion. So now we actually have another team from Indonesia. We have Daniel, who's going to be sharing more about his project along with his educator, Mieke. And I'll stop sharing my screen if Daniel, you want to share your screen. You should.
I think, can I ask for help for you to open the presentation for me? Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, you already got it. All right, take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Neha. I'm 13 years old and I'm a bookworm. Today, allow me to share about my story here in this student panel. Let me welcome all of you to an app named Booklands, a kids' book guide app. The story began with my own challenge, always grabbing adult books in the libraries or bookstores. So my big question is that, first, how can I help myself find the correct book? And it leads to a bigger question, how can I help other kids find books that are suitable for our age, making our reading experience better? To answer the question, I joined the Live Experience program, and these were things that I do. First, first, in Live Experience classes, we were taught to recognize the challenges in the real world and find a solution through brainstorming and collaborating with others. This was my learning journey in Live Experience, consisting of expert classes, outings, and classroom discussion. This was when we have expert class with Miss Wati Idio, a children's book author. Next slide. These photos taken in the public libraries during our outing class where we did some research and investigation. These are our classes with discussion and collaboration. This is where I came up with this idea. What if there is an app that can scan book and it gives information about the book and its age suitability? It's like having a superpower in your hands. A book lens app. It's an app that can give you complete information about a book and also its age suitability. If you're a kid like me and also a bookworm, I bet you must feel the same thing. Every time I go to libraries or bookstores, most of the time I end up picking the wrong books, books that are not suitable for my age. And it dawned on me that what if my 8 years old brother accidentally picked up wrong books? Let's say horror books. So it inspired me to think of this app. It's like having superpower in your hands, picking the perfect book. How to use the app? How to use the app? You just need to scan the barcode and boom, you get all of the information of the book story and whether it's right for your age. And you know what will be much cooler if it connects to big libraries and reliable database. You know you're getting reliable info. That's what I want to make. So first, let me take you to my next learning journey. The next step in my learning journey was when I presented my project in front of city officials at the end of my lived experience class. So after all of this, what have I learned? Well, I've learned the power of research and I have learned the power of having friendship because I can collaborating with each other. I've realized too that it's important to talk with to our community and find out what they really need. I found out that other kids out there are having the same challenge as I am. And I learned that we kids can make a difference by starting to doing something small. Now, if you are asking me, is this the end of my learning journey? Well, no, it's not the end of my journey. In fact, it's the beginning of new learning journey. With the Ciena Sustainability Award, I got the opportunity to make this application more than just a design. I can make it happen. Not only will the application will help kids like me in getting the perfect books, but it will empower me to do more for communities around me and the literacy world. So here, so here is what I plan to do. In the future, to develop booklands, I will work with people who can produce this app and maybe add cooler stuff on it. Then I would like to improve our database too. This app will work with the libraries for the database. And also not forgetting the community by partnering with local libraries, kids book writers, and reading communities. I want to invite them all collaborating, making this app better and more accessible. I want this app to be something really useful for everyone. I'm Daniel. Together, let's make the world of books even more awesome. Keep reading, exploring, and dreaming. Bye. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much, Daniel. That was wonderful. If you have any reactions for Daniel's presentation, please share them in the chat box. All right, so we are going to move on to our next presenters. We have the Solution X team coming from Lagos, Nigeria, the Caleb British International School with Educator Victor, and we have a few of their students. So I'm going to actually share their slides for them. Second. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Okay. Good day, everyone. Good day. Welcome to our company. Next slide. Next slide. Thank you. Our project name is Solution X.
Next slide.
Next slide. Solution X is a business and employment focused social media platform that works through websites and mobile apps. Our primary goal on the platform is to connect job seekers like internship applicants, volunteer workers, assistants, fresh and experienced graduates, including professional workers, with job opportunities and employers of labor. Our platform allows job seekers to post their CV and employers to post their job. Our unique selling point: voluntary workers and fresh graduates can gain experience in their field and become professionals via a web app. Solution X enables people who don't have experience and people who also have experience to be able to look for jobs for themselves. Next slide, please. So this is like a background view of our mobile app. Next slide, please. Our flowchart. So firstly, you visit our site, which is www.solutionx.com. You create an account with us by signing up. You upload your CV, and then you get connected with potential employers. Next slide, please. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Okay, awesome.
Bye.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to stop sharing. And it looks like we have our final presenters that may have just joined. Let me share my screen. Okay, we have the team from Carbon Emission Predictor and Dementia Guard team from India with their educator, Tanu Monga. And I want to make sure that Tanu can come off mute, and just wanted to see if you are able to share your screen with your presentation, and I'm going to make you a co-host. And if there's any of the students from this team that have joined as a panelist, you're welcome to start presenting.
Good evening, ma'am. We are trying to share the screen, but we are facing some issues.
Okay,
My student are unable to unmute the mic.
can you let me know if you're part of this team? Can you just raise your hand and I can unmute you? I see we have a few students.
Okay, let me ask my student. Wait for a minute, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, they joined as attendees. Okay, I'll move them over as a panelist. And then move to panelist. And now they should be able to unmute themselves. Okay, it looks like Simran, thank you for sharing your screen. I'm trying to make your co-panelist Akriti a panelist. So if they could.
Yes, ma'am. Kindly make Priti and Simran panelists and unmute their mic, please.
Okay. Just a heads up, Akriti, if you can accept the invitation to be promoted as a panelist, then you can you'll be able to unmute yourself. But Simran, if you want to start, you're welcome to begin.
Actually, Akriti is joining, ma'am. Can we wait for 2 minutes?
Sure. Okay, it looks like Akriti is declining to be promoted as a panelist, and in order for them to present, they would have to be a panelist. So I'll see if they can accept the invite again. Okay, Akriti, I'm gonna make you a co-host, and then you should be able to unmute yourself now. Thanks, everybody, for your patience.
Carbon emission predictor, our web page. So, we know due to global warming.
Good evening to you all. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Simran or Akriti, are you all ready to present? Or Tanu?
So our topic is about carbon emission predictor. Carbon emissions is a huge concern, and due to carbon emissions, basically it's a threat to our environment. To decrease carbon emission, we are presenting a carbon emission predictor, which allows a user in order to check that how much carbon is emitted by the vehicle and how it can decrease it. Now, talking about the problem, we know that every family owns a vehicle, right?
Every family owns a vehicle, and these vehicles are the major reason of the carbon emission. So, whenever we drive, the fuel gets burned up, and the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere get mixed up with the various gases, which leads to this carbon emission. So, our carbon emission predictor aims to reduce the carbon emission. So we've used Python to make our web page, in which we need to fill only simple details like fuel consumptions, engine size, and the number of cylinders in our web page, which will lead to the carbon emitted, and this will help in giving you some suggestions which will help you how you can reduce the carbon emitted by the vehicles. So our web page, the web page we have created is able to predict the amount of carbon emitted by the vehicles, and which play a vital role in increasing the decreasing the carbon emission. So it is able to track the data of the vehicles, how much carbon it emits according to the distance traveled by it, and it's work on bigger databases, and it is helpful for predicting the carbon emitted.
Simran, I'm sorry to interrupt. We see your slides, but we can't see that you're moving to different slides. We just see one page.
Sorry for the
So
interruption. So the problem is, ever thought about the carbon emitted? Well, the answer is maybe or maybe not. Nowadays, every
One
family owns
second,
a
Akriti
vehicle,
Simran.
but
1 second, Akriti
we
Simran.
really know that
Sorry for
each
interruption.
vehicle is part of carbon
Akriti,
emission in environment. When we drive, fuel get burns.
Akriti Simran. There should be slideshow, bache.
Ma'am, but it is on the slideshow only.
No, you
So
are
due
not
to
moving the
this
slides.
CO2 release, it is
Ma'am, I
difficult
am.
for
Is
our
it not
environment to cope
moving?
up this.
No,
Now, talking
not
about
at
the
all.
solution, using
Akriti,
Python as programming language.
if you want to stop sharing for a second and then maybe reshare,
So
you
someone
should
is
be able
muting me
to
again and
move to
again.
the next slide.
just a second, ma'am. Is it still not?
If you go
But
to
it
So using Python as programming language, we have created a solution that is carbon emission predictor. A person needs simply
I think you just have to
okay.
click the next slide. We can see it. It's, yeah.
Is it the first slide only? Is it moving now?
It's not moving yet.
Akriti, Simran, just press resume slideshow. Just check it. Sorry to all, there is some technology glitch.
No worries. I think if you maybe just press maybe another slide on this page, we could just, you don't have to maybe select.
Yes, ma'am, I'm making them. Actually, they have joined from other places, not from their home.
Okay.
So,
No
there is some
problem.
issue. Let me check, ma'am. Wait for a minute, ma'am.
Okay.
Or you can give us a turn after someone else if you want.
Yeah, if you all want to stop sharing for a second, and then we can move on to
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
potentially
ma'am. Please please move
Yeah.
on. We will be joining after 5 minutes.
No problem.
After that. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for understanding.
No problem. So I'm actually going to start sharing my screen again. And we're actually going to move on to the student discussion portion. And Tanu, if you all want to join in on this, you're welcome to as well. So we have a little bit of time for students to just share a little bit more about your projects. And we're curious to know, what are you most proud of when it comes to your projects or something that you created this year? So we can start anywhere with any of the students that presented or educators that presented today. So what are you most proud of?
Sanvi?
Yes,
Sanvi?
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Tell about something about your project.
Yes, sir. Namaste, I am Sanvi Sharma from India, and I worked on how can I care to ozone layer project, and we planted trees, and we care those trees, and we interviewed people, and we made them aware about ozone layer, and we also make some games to aware the people, like we make games like Kahoot games and Flipkart games, and we aware our friends through this game, and we celebrated some days like a day ozone day to aware all about this.
Wonderful, thank you. Ebenezer, it looks like you have your hand raised. You're welcome to come off mute and share something that you're proud of.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Of course, there are a series of findings or some things we did that I can say that we are proud of. Starting from the beginning of the projects, I'm proud of my students for being able to collaborate and working as a team without any bias or being demoralized. They could be able to collaborate and have different designs. At least I'm proud of different designs they could be able to come up with. Every day they come from their home, the one they did in the school here with different designs of fans. They will say this one is the one they did. Another person will say I did this one. Another person will say I did this particular touch. All these different designs and their collaborative works, and as well to be able to look into the community and see that what is the challenge, because they don't have electricity in the village, they don't have a source of energy. They say now let us create this particular solution so that they can use all this torchlight to manage and read at night, and also use some of these they are created fans to use even in the classroom that is hot, even at home. At least I'm proud of their collaborative abilities and their innovative skills to create something out of nothing, because some of these are not bought. There are things that are picked, some of these are discarded materials that are picked from damaged fans, damaged electronics. They put it together and innovate something that is great like this. So I'm proud of them in that aspect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other students or teams want to share what they're most proud of?
All right. Good afternoon once again. My name is Victor, and our project is Solution X. And what our project is all about is just to connect job seeker to job opportunity. And so it's about an app or a web app where job seeker can submit their CV and get connected to job opportunity. Now, if I'm to start my project all over again, the advice I think I'll give to myself is that I thought I already have adequate knowledge of programming. I mean, they have to create the web app. My students have knowledge, but why during the projects, we discovered that the knowledge of creating website, web app is inadequate, it's not adequate enough. And we just need another expert to more or give us his expertise advice. So if I'm to do this project all over again, I will just make sure that I have a professional knowledge on web app so that I won't just waste resources trying to contract the web app to an expert or a professional, because the knowledge my students have is not professional enough. It's just for the beginners. So next time, I think I will make sure that the knowledge of creating web app is more adequate before we can embark on the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Daniel or Mieke or any of the students, do you all want to share maybe some advice that you would give to someone else that's looking to start this project, or maybe to yourself? If you could start this project over, do you have any advice that you would give yourself or someone else?
I will say like if I could start over, I think like I'm going to, give as many ideas I can, go for like quantity. So any wild idea, because Daniel started this with yeah, just like it's it's uh ideas that is coming from like that experience, right? But this one is like Daniel probably feel like it's like it's only simple idea, but it turns out that it's pretty useful. So I say that, yeah, start with as many ideas you have, as wild ideas you have. That's what I can say.
Thank you. Okay, so before we go to Q&A from the audience, I'm actually gonna give Tanu's team, Simran and Akriti, another opportunity to share their presentations. Are you all ready to present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, feel free to share your screen.
A very good evening to all. So our project is about carbon emission predictor. So carbon emissions are primarily from human activities like burning fossil fuels have been steadily increasing, which contributes to climate change. This change is harmful for everyone. Now let us see what's the problem.
So have you ever thought about the carbon emitted? Nowadays, generally every family owns a vehicle, and these vehicles are the major reason for the carbon emission. Whenever we drive, the fuel gets burned up, and the carbon dioxide, which is released in the atmosphere, get mixed up with the various gases, and this leads to the carbon emission. With our carbon emission predictor, we aim to reduce the carbon emission. Now let us look at the solution.
So the solution is that we had created a website using Python as a programming language. The person needs simply to fill few details of the vehicle and proceed further to show result, and it would tell you about the carbon emitted. If that carbon emitted is more than 100 gram per kilometer, it would give you solutions. And if it's under 100 gram per kilometer, then you're good to go. This will help in reducing carbon emission and will lead to a sustainable world.
We have created a website which is able to predict the carbon emitted by the vehicle, and it's play a vital role in decreasing the carbon emission. It is able to track the data of the vehicle, that how much carbon it has emitted according to the distance traveled, and it works on the various parameters which are given in our website.
Further talking about that, why our product contributes to a sustainable world. For one, it's easy to understand its mechanism, and one could simply check that the carbon emitted by the vehicle is more and could reduce it. Why we should change? The change is neither asked nor wanted by many, but for better future of an environment, we need to change.
Why we should change now? For our future generation, we need to change in every possible way that leads to a sustainable world. So it cannot be done by an individual. So for that, all of us need to come together so that we can make our world a pure world.
I, Akriti.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you
Together,
so
we can
much.
lead to a sustainable world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. That was
Akriti,
wonderful.
Simran, share your working model, please.
Sure, ma'am.
Tanu, we actually need to move on to the question and answer part. So if you all can stop sharing, and then we can see if there's any questions from the audience.
Fine, ma'am, fine. No problem.
Thank you.
I want to say something.
Oh,
Thank
sure
you for
thing.
thank you for giving us this opportunity to bring the sustainable change in this world. We want to do something for the sustainability, and we are working on it. And we are happy that we are involved and working on it. You have just given us the hand to work further for this noble cause. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you both for presenting such great ideas and innovative products. And that goes to all of the teams. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly just to see if there's any questions. And it looks like we have one question from the audience. So this question actually comes from a Ciena employee by the name of Matthew. So the question that he asked is, are the teams that Matthew reviewed did such a great job of presenting a much better job than he could have done at his age? So for everyone, what did you find most challenging about the video presentation? So this is a question for all students. What did you find most challenging about your video presentations? You can come off mute if you want to respond. Go ahead.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Concerning the video presentation, of course, the thing that we find challenging in the video presentation is firstly the ability to gather these children. Of course, by this time the school have dismissed about close to 30 minutes or thereabout. Ability to convince their parents and also see how to keep them waiting and also gather them to join, because this is their own festival. I'm just there to kind of to facilitate. So that is another thing, is that they are not used to some of this digital technology. So the ability for them to kind of see how things works and other things is another aspect of the challenge. And another thing is the time frame. So, but notwithstanding, all those little challenges have been overcame, so that there's no thing to worry much again. So that is a little challenge I can see that we encountered. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Victor? Looks like you have your hand raised. Victor, did you want to respond? It looks like you're on mute.
Yes, in the video presentation, some challenges that we encounter was my students trying to put their content together. You see them trying to do the content over and over again until they are able to get to perfection. So these are just the major challenge we have in the video presentation. Aside that,
I think Victor might have lost a little bit of connection. we can move on to the next response. Daniel, do you have something that you wanted to share about that question?
Yes, yes, I have something from the Q&A, and it is at the first when I joined the experience with I'm sorry, there is some voice. Okay, there is some like there is something that it's so hard to me. Last year when I'm sixth grade, I need to do the exam before I go to junior high school. And I need to pass it. And yeah, it's the hardest because I need to brainstorm the idea and having and together together doing the exam in my school. It's so hard, and um I thank the Lord because until today, I feel I have passed, and I'm feeling grateful for it until now, and I can go to this panel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for responding. So we have one more question just before we end today. There was another question from another Ciena employee. So his name is Amar, and Amar asks the students, have your personal projects and even listening to other groups, has it changed your view on technology?
Yes, actually, I am impressed by the Daniel's work, especially the Ebenezer's work, and how they are struggling with the technology, and about this carbon emission project by the in my country, India, and they are using like Python. Their students are working on that. So I'm really learning a lot, and this is changing my view also. Yeah.
Thank you, Tanu. I think you're Akriti. Looks like you have your hand raised. Did you want to respond to this question about your views on technology? Have they changed?
Yes, ma'am, for sure. So technology has been played a huge role in every sector, but being a student side, we never we can never think about that how previously that we should never think about that how we can lead to a sustainable world. But now using every coding work, even artificial intelligence, you can lead to a sustainable world. It's not uh, it's not about an individual but a group work, and they say that it starts from an individual to lead to sustainable world, and it's true. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate your hard work and putting all of your effort and your ideas together, and just really phenomenal collaboration, I would say, for all teams. Thank you so much. So before we end today, I just want to remind you all that we have a few, we have another, sorry, I'm just trying to share my screen. We have, whoops. So just to give everyone a heads up, if you want to hear more conversations about, just YouthMADE, we have an ed camp coming up this Saturday for educators to join. It's Saturday, May 18th. So you're welcome to register for that. And I believe Elise just shared the registration link in the chat box. And then if you attended to support a group, we welcome any kudos to the presenters today. So if you want to share any congrats or any kudos, we are providing YouthMADE Festival Community Awards to share with our creators. So feel free to support the community awards. And I believe that we have the link for that in the chat box as well. And so thank you all again today for joining. If you want to share any highlights from today's student panel session, Feel free to use any of the social networks that you might be using with the Ciena Challenge hashtag, YouthMADE hashtag. You can also follow us on Instagram at YouthMADE Festival. We have an additional Ciena Solutions Challenge student panel happening today, featuring students from Canada, Colombia, Peru, and the United States. And that starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you can register to join, and any of the attendees or panelists that want to see another set of student panel sessions, you are welcome to register for that as an attendee. And we have the registration link for you in the chat box. So thank you all so much. Really appreciate your hard work, and we can't wait to see what all of your students do next.